Wow. It's yet another stadium. Wednesday. Hello and welcome to Wednesday. Today we're starting off the day at Apollo, the Temple of Apollo, which is a little outside of Delphi. I've shot a lot of stuff, so I'm going to show you guys as we come up. Rhonda and I made it to the very top. We were with the tour guide until about the middle part. Mark and Mal went down to the coffee shop, but this was like this was all a temple to Apollo, but there was a woman here named the Oracle who would receive messages from the gods, and people would come from all around, not only Greece but other countries, and ask her questions. But she would sit in a room full of fumes and just talk gibberish. The tour guide insisted that drugs were not involved. I'm not so sure. And then they would take that information, and like the priest or someone would interpret that and give out a message from the gods. But they were never like straightforward answers. The tour guide had said that, for an example, there was one guy that came from another country that wanted to declare war on a different country, and the answer that he was given was, if you go to war, an empire will be destroyed. So he took that as information of like, oh, well, their empire will be destroyed and it'll be fine. But in fact, it was a two-part answer because it was his empire that got destroyed. So they didn't give solid answers, and that way the gods could never be wrong, so they could continue the myth of the Greek religion. But there's another stadium. The stadium information was that in addition to the Olympics that went on, this was like a different event that went on. And Mal was telling me that in addition to like the typical Olympic type events, they would actually do music. And we saw a kind of a little amphitheater down there, and they would do music there. They would put on, I think, little plays, and also fighting. So this is a really cool place. My only complaint is that it is hot. It's really hot. It's like 9 a.m. We just left the hotel not long ago, and it is very, very, very warm. We're going to go down to the coffee shop to meet them, and then we're going to be walking around the museum. Still really cool, and it's really interesting to see all of this stuff. And one of the things the tour guide was saying, which I completely believe, is that the Greeks probably take a lot of this for granted. They grow up here and they don't care. They're like, yeah, I'll go see it eventually. Kind of how like if you live in Myrtle Beach, you take the beach for granted. Same kind of thing, except this is much more interesting and obviously a little more historical than the beach.
The city, Itea.
Itea, that's where we are. We stopped here for lunch. Mal and Mark got fried shrimp. Very nice. And you got a free
mussel.
Free fried mussel. Excellent. Yours looks truly delicious.
It is delicious. It's the mussel saganaki.
Yeah, you don't even have to pull them out of the
No, they're
shell,
already
nice.
shelled.
That's awesome.
Tomato and feta cheese.
Yeah, and olives and ouzo.
And Coke.
Gotta advertise.
And I got the chicken souvlaki. It's good. The fries are good. That's one of the weird things is like every single
Really good fries.
yeah, every single place we've went in Greece with for French fries has been really good. I don't know why, but they got that down pat. Over there is where we had lunch, and then we've walked a little bit. We still have like half an hour to kill. One of the things, it's a little odd for all of these stops, is that we have too much time. Like, I understand that we want to look around and stuff, but even if you look around, it seems like you still end up with way too much time. Like at the museums and stuff, like we'll see everything we need, and it's like, oh, we still have 30 minutes. And it's like, what do we do for 30 minutes? Anyway, we obviously came over here, and there's this. They have benches around, but then there's this one bench that's like up on stilts.
There's one across the way too. You see with the sign.
Yeah,
yellow.
so you can kind of get an idea. So we're like way up in the air. We're trying to kill some time. We're not really sure what to do.
In the shade.
Yeah, there's like no shade, man. And
It's so hot.
you can't just go to a place and just sit down, because obviously you need to buy something. And like we don't really want anything right now. We just had lunch. So I think we might go try and find a place to get maybe some chips or something for the bus ride. Because we have 3 hours with a few stops in between before we get to the hotel tonight. And it's gonna be the same thing. It's gonna be get to the hotel, dinner at 7:45, which will probably be like 45 minutes after we get to the hotel. And then we have to get to bed pretty early because we have to get up at 6:30 because we have another thing planned.
It's hot. I want to go swimming.
It's not that I don't want to give the impression that I'm not enjoying my time here, but the bus tour, like that stuff, is probably my least favorite of it. you know? Like, being able to see the Acropolis and everything is cool. And honestly, the stops that we're taking are neat, but the actual riding on the bus from place to place is like, whew. Obviously you have to.
Yeah.
You have to get there, but it's the least enjoyable part, in my opinion, of the trip. This is a monument to Leonidas. There's two monuments. One's for Leonidas and one's for, I think, the battle in general. But I think this was actually Leonidas. I'm pretty sure. If you saw the movie 300, which maybe some of you did, in Greece, everyone in Greece has, because they keep selling the shirts that say, "This is Sparta." Pretty sure that's Leonidas monument. We made it after a pretty lengthy drive. How many hours? Three after we stopped. So in total, I think we drove like 5 or more hours today. It was a lot of driving. We finally made it to beautiful.
Kalamblaka.
What?
Kalamblaka.
Kalamblaka. This is the hotel. It's actually, it's the same hotel chain that we were at yesterday, which is called Amelia Hotels. Already got a shower, which is why I look cleaner. But to be fair, whenever we started our day, and I was like, "Oh, I'm clean, everything's great." And then as soon as we got off the bus, we had to walk up the Temple of Apollo, and it was 1,000,000 degrees. It was really cool, but I got soaked immediately. Now we're gonna grab some dinner, and then nothing to do in Kalamblaka, unlike the other cities we visited. Where our hotel is, we're too far to walk, so our night will end early, and I'm actually really happy about that because I really need some rest. I really want to rest. So let's go figure out what dinner is going to consist of, and then relax tonight. It's a big buffet. I think it's bigger than the one we had yesterday, actually.
Από την πόρτα μου σαν αυτό δεν υπάρχει κανείς που να μην τον αγαπώ. Όταν τα βράδια ξαγρυπνούν ξέρω πώς να τον ηρευθώ. Πετράδια βάζω στο λαιμό και μια χάντα φυλάω. Γιατί τα βράδια ξαγρυπνώ στο λιμάνι σαφώ.
Tomorrow we're visiting some monasteries, and from what I understand, it may be like the most beautiful stuff that we see on the trip. It's we have to go on top of like a mountain. I don't even know how it's going to work exactly, but we like go up on these mountains and see these monasteries, Greek Orthodox monasteries that are still running. I think. And then we drive back to Athens, and then we leave the next day.
Yeah, we leave on Friday.
Yeah, so not much time left. Greece has been fun, but monasteries tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, let's meet back tomorrow, shall we?
You can drink and refill it as many times as you want, nothing happens. But if you get greedy, because probably you will be drunk and you pass this line, so you pass your limits.
Okay, on top! This is how you deal with it.
Dum 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 dum.
There we go, things are going well right now.
Quarter, half. Wow.